What is going on, Adobe Live? We are back here again for another day of XD Daily Creative Challenge with me, your host, Brandon Gross. I'm super excited to have all of you guys here. Who do we have in the chat today? My goodness. My screen didn't even load, so I can't even say hello to you guys just yet. But I'm trying to click over. I do want to say hi. There we go. Let's not press audio. What's going on, Frank? What's going on, everybody? Chris, Ruth, glad to have you guys here. Appreciate the patience with the quick little sound error I had. But I'm excited for day number 4 of Daily Creative Challenge. We have something super awesome in store for you guys today. And I can't wait till the end of today's segment to really go through all of these submissions that you guys have really gone through and put into our Discord from yesterday's challenge. So we have a lot to dive into for today. But with that said, let's talk about what we're doing today. And for those of you guys who are new in our chat or here with us today, how to get involved in the challenges. So let's go to my screen and please let me know what's going on. Sam, how you doing? What's happening, Steve? If you guys are new to XD, put 1 in the chat. Let me know how familiar everybody is with the platform. And that way, while I'm doing what I'm doing today and what we're going into, I can help you guys in the minutia. But for those of you who are new, if you haven't already gone to behance.net/challenge/XD to join us for our creative challenge, all you have to do is click that beautiful blue button and basically you'll be able to join our Discord and everything will be spelled out for how our challenges work. Join our community, watch the daily live streams like you are now, and finally share your work with our Discord. A little bit more on the Discord later. Let's hop into today's challenge. We are showcasing your designs. We're going to design a showcase responsive landing page for mobile and web. Okay, that aside, we are essentially without the words. This is what we're doing today. Words are challenging, but with a visual, never lies. So we are literally going to recreate something very similar to this. If I jump into XD, and if you guys want to have what I have and what I'm going to be working with today, you guys can download the XD files. Sam in the chat has them. They're down in the description. You can get them everywhere. What's going on, Joan? How you doing? And by the way, if you have any music or audio problems, please let me know in the chat and I'll be happy to fix that right away. I've got loud music in my ear, but let me know if it's too loud for you guys. All right, so let's move on in. So what we're gonna do today is, what's going on, Cornell? Long time no see. All right, so this is what we're going to be making today. There's about 6 screens. I'm just gonna let it run. This is all auto-animated, it's on loop. I have all of this for you guys in the Adobe XD files that you can download and work along with us today, or by yourself on your lonesome. But if you guys want to rewatch this, use the files that you can download. You can get everything here in the files all in one spot. Okay, so let's talk about how we're gonna make this. All right, we're gonna start off brand spanking new. I'm gonna press A on my keyboard so I have my artboard tool up with me. Hey, first time following you, Brandon. What is happening? And if I butcher your name, I apologize. Marangua. Glad to have you in the chat. It's a pleasure. And welcome to the Adobe XD fam. We're glad to have you. So I am going to just create an artboard. And what I'm going to do first is I'm actually going to create a gradient. And now how I did this, I just want to pull this asset out so you guys can see what exactly this is. It's essentially, it is a very long rectangle. I'm just going to drag out another rectangle. And what I did to make this, I'm just make it the same size. Frank says, can we put prototypes in the Discord or just MP4s? That's a great question. I believe there is a way you can export your prototypes from XD, obviously. But if you want to go ahead and put that in the chat, that's awesome too. But if you want to put the MP4s so it's just visual, it's up to you. It's up to how exactly you want to submit your stuff. There's no rules there. If it's cool either way. So with that said, what I did is I took 3 colors here, orange, a light orange, and a schnurple. We're just calling that for right now. And I went to my fill color here, select from solid color to linear, I pulled the gradient from one side to the other. What's happening, Usama? How are you doing? Glad to have you in the chat. And I'm just gonna go ahead and make one side orange, the other side purple. And honestly, I could just rock with this if I wanted to. The third point was, you know, there's a little something extra, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna just drag this onto my artboard. And our first move is going to be a couple things. This is actually a super basic design. There's not much to it, and we totally can do this in 30 minutes. So one of the first things I'm going to do is I'm actually going to actually save us some time. But what I do want to do first is I want to draw a rectangle. I'm just going to draw out a rectangle here. I'm going to see what the radius is on my other ones. I'm kind of going to cheat live with you here. I'm not going to do this from scratch all the way. And I'm going to put in 65 radius for my rectangle. So I just clicked my rectangle. I went to this little feature right here where I can up and down the radius of my rectangle. Just made it to 65, and you can play with it as you wish. Ruth, I too need coffee. I'm not even sure if I had any today. Who needs coffee? Let us know. we will band together on Adobe Live to have us some coffee. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to actually turn off the fill. We don't need that. I'm going to open up I'm going to just mess with our border. I want a white border, and I'm just going to thicken this just a little bit. Thickenize it. Ruth, 11:06, coffee is not needed. I hope that is AM and not PM. So I'm going to make this about 12 pixels. And, oh, did I miss Laura? What's happening, Laura? I'm going to pull in a couple things here. So these pieces up here, they're super simple. They're just text elements. What I really want to get into today is, again, masks, animation, and all the cool stuff, the gradients. That way we have the majority of the time to go back and talk about the simpler stuff. But essentially, all this stuff that is here in this group are icons and text. And I can type them out if I wanted to. But I'm just going to copy and paste them from our previous artboards. I'm going to paste them in here. Now, if you're wondering where I got my icons, I'll give you that answer. It's super simple. So I'm just going to my plugins, bottom left right here. It looks like a little Lego. Don't step on it. That hurts. And I'm going to, if you haven't already, I use Icons for Design. You can download it very simply right here. I already have it installed. I just hit this little plus button. I'm on PC, but if you go to your plugins, if you're on Mac, you should also see a plus or a way for you to get into all of the plugins here. So with that said, I'm going to pop this open. I'm going to look for two things. Search. You have a whole bunch of icons that you can pull from, and I can also type in heart, and I have a whole bunch of hearts to pull from. So that's pretty simple. If you want to grab some of your own icons, everything else is basically just text, and it's the Poppins font. So let's move into some of the actual fun stuff. Let me just copy these as well. Literally, these are just circles. How we make these is we press E, pull them to the size we want, turn off the border, Control R, so that we get our little repeat grid. Perfect. I'm going to hit Control-Shift-G to ungroup them. I know our man Howard Pinsky absolutely loves to keep everything in the repeat grid, but if I'm going to turn the opacity down for my assets or my little pieces here, I don't want to keep them grouped because it's going to make them all like that. So, pretty clean. From here, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to delete these because I already have ours here, and they're nice and grouped. The next piece we're going to do, and it's super simple, is and I already have these out for me. They're just simply text pieces. And actually, let's make these together. I'm going to press T on my keyboard. It really doesn't take long to make. I'm just going to type in New Zealand. Did someone say they were from New Zealand in the chat? I feel like there was somebody who said that. This is very timely if that is the case. So I have New Zealand here. I do want to do a black version, just scale it up a little bit. And we are going to switch this to Poppins. No wonder it didn't look right for me. I'm actually going to bring this down from black to bold. Very nice. I'm going to center this. I'm just going to duplicate this holding the Alt key. I'm going to drag this to, we'll do regular. Nope, we're going to do light. And I'm going to scale this down. I'm going to just steal what it says here, because I don't remember what it says. Lush greenery and iconic beaches. I'm going to bring this centered, using this to scale my words. And I think there might be, yes, we're going to use thin. All right, and our button, super simple. We're going to grab our rectangle. You guys can dictate the size you want it. Turn off the border. I'm going to get a nice radius that I like, 14. And I'm going to type, I forget what I would need to type here. What is it, submit or apply? It's apply. I'm going to make this, what color should we make this? A nice little dark black. And we will do, we'll play with bold. We'll play with bold. You guys are really diving into whipped cream, tea, and everything else in the chat. We are either thirsty or entirely hungry. Which one is it, guys? Are we conversing about healthy teas? What's happening? So I'm going to take this button. I'm just going to group it here. And we have our first steps. We have New Zealand, our little sub heading, and we have our button. I'm going to make sure everything is vertically aligned here, and then I'm going to group it. And from here, all I'm going to do is I'm going to just repeat this a whole bunch of times. And I can use my repeat grid. You know what? I want to do this another way. I'm going to duplicate this about 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to group these. I am going to center one of these. So I'm just going to duplicate it and find the center, reduce the opacity. And why I'm doing this is because I'm trying to find where the center should be for this group, or at least you guys will see in a second. There we go. Because since I grouped everything, I can't necessarily find the center because I have all those things in a group. The center would be the center of that group. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to take this rectangle that we made back here, and now we want to use that to make a mask. So I'm going to copy, paste. I am going to look in my layers, make sure that is the topmost layer, and name it mask. I am going to turn the fill on, and I'm going to select now my words and that mask. And I'm actually going to name that group words just to make things clear. I'm going to select both of them. I'm going to right click, mask with shape. And we have one of the other, one of the first things that's important done. Now all I have to do here is I'm going to double click the center piece here. I'm going to put it up. Just like that. And everything else, I am actually going to turn. I'm basically clicking them, holding shift, and I am about to use my number keypad to turn the opacity down to 30%, just pressing 3. And I can mess around with this now, find a good spot. And I'm a little worried because this might not be the actual center. But we'll see. We'll play around. I feel like I have been bamboozled by some of the measurements because this is a little out here. And if you guys see this is on top of the white. That's super easy to fix. I just need to select our mask here and just pull this in. And I'm gonna do this on both sides. There we go. Yeah, the T chat is strong today, guys. I don't know what's going on, but I dig it. Oh, and it does look like my centering was a little wrong. So I'm gonna move this over here. There we go. And pull that out. We don't need that. I think that looks much better. Okay, so we have screen one. Literally the rest of the screens are super easy. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select this artboard, hold Alt, drag it. And the next thing that we are going to do is we are gonna take this entire section, we're gonna pull it over. Hopefully that is centered. I'm gonna pull this down so everything is in alignment. I'm gonna press 3 so it is 30% opaque, I guess. And I am going to bring this next. Let's see where this is. I'm gonna find the Y, 387. And I am going to take New Zealand to be also 387. So it's in the right Y position like the other, or the previous asset. And I'm going to press 0. And let's take a look at what we have so far. And it actually looks like we do not have everything centered. There's a little bit of a spacing issue here, guys. You can kind of see it. This button is a little bit further in versus this. But let's see what we have. And I might also, yep, I'm double checking. I'm just copying and pasting my asset from my first artboard just so I can be like, okay, well, where is it actually? Where's the center? All right, much better. So let's prototype this really quick. I'm gonna go to prototype. I'm gonna take my arrow, pull that over, make it a time trigger, auto animate, and of course we only do snap over here, ladies and gentlemen. 0.6, and let's see what we have. We're gonna do a little bit of a delay. We're gonna do 1 second so we can sit on that artboard for a little bit. So I'm gonna press play on our first artboard. There we go, super smooth. And if we wanted to increase the actual animation time, we'll just go to 0.8, so it's not as fast. All right, so our third artboard. This is pretty simple. Again, I'm going to hold Alt, duplicate our artboard. And by the way, one thing I did miss is I did not pull the gradient in the background. So all I did was I just shifted the gradient. So now we should actually have, when it goes, we should now have the purple come in. And if you saw on the side, the white came through a little bit. Since we are using snap, it will actually overpull the asset. We don't want that to happen. So we're gonna leave just a little bit of the color off so we don't get to see all that white come over. Wrong was saying you need a glass of water. I definitely do. My tongue is like smacking. Steve is asking, why did you pick New Zealand? Honestly, Steve, it was because the design decided to use New Zealand. However, I'm very happy you found a new home. How do you like New Zealand? Should we all move there is the question. All right, and time is picking up, guys, so I'm gonna do like this last little segment here, which is still pretty cool, but then I do wanna show off some of the cool stuff that you guys have been doing in Discord. And remember, as long as you guys got these concepts from these first 3 artboards, you guys will be able to do the rest. Just download the XD file, again, either in the chat with Sam or in the description below, and you guys will be able to figure this out from the submissions you guys have been doing in the Discord. I can't wait to go into them and showcase them because you guys have done a really good job. So I'm actually gonna delete that because I did move the background of this and I don't want to have to deal with that again. So I'm going to just pull out another third artboard and I'm gonna squeeze this in. I'm gonna squeeze the background in so it's like an iPhone. And you know what? I bet I didn't even center the rectangle, guys. That's why everything was wrong. But let's not point any fingers, okay? It will be up to you when you guys do your projects to center things. So I'm just going to squeeze everything into a mobile fashion. I'm going to take all these menu items, reduce the opacity except for path, because we've squeezed everything in. And I'm also going to squeeze these in as well. First things first, I do need to pull in our mask here. So I'm going to pull them in the same width as the phone. And I do need to... Guys, just don't yell at me since the rectangle isn't actually sent in the center of the actual screen. Just play along with me, okay? I'm going to reduce the size of this. I'm just going to scale it down, holding Shift and Alt. I'm going to pull this up, or I'm going to keep it centered here. I do want to see, I'm going to push it over by 10 pixels, or actually 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That way it is in the center of the actual rectangle. My button's a little too small, so I'm going to scale this up and pull it down a little bit. And let's see where we are. All right, so now let's take a look. We're going to prototype this. All I'm going to do is just pull this line over, and it's kept all of our settings except from 0 delay. We're just going to do 0. We want it to just go. So I'm going to press play. We should have the switch and the squeeze down. Very nice. All right, we are at 22 minutes. Man, I want to show you guys one last thing. And what I might do is, let's see if, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to show this as quickly. Let's see. I might. Let's see what we can do, guys. So what I'm going to do, I've duplicated this. Yeah, let me not even try to fight it. We literally do have like 3-4-ish minutes. Let's see. Maybe I can do it for you guys, but we'll see. No, I'm not gonna be able to explain it. All right, guys, just download the download the XD file and check it out. What we did in these first 3 is literally the same that you need to do for this final moment here. And to show you guys one more time what the full animation looks like is like this. It's just that one thing. So it goes back and forth, squeezes down, cards go up, and then it's like a cyclical cycle. So the last 2 artboards are literally just copied and paste, and you make the animation go in reverse. But check out the XD file and see it yourself. All right, now let's jump into Discord because I do want to give some love to the people who submitted. And once you guys do create these, to give you a quick answer for how to export your designs, it's super simple. If you want to export your MP4, if you press this button here, if you're on a Mac or PC, you can record everything that your prototype has done. Or you can use Screen Rec, which I personally use as a plugin where I just have to press Alt-S, and I can select the area on my screen in which I would like to record. And if you want to export a still image, just press Control-E on whatever artboard you like to export, or all of them. Control-E, and you have all of the different file types that you can export to. Now, with about 3-ish minutes, let's take a sneaky peek at Discord. There's a lot of things and a lot of people that I want to shout out. First off, I saw Salem. Let's take a look at her Behance stuff. I saw this one. This was also an individual who had amazing prototype from yesterday. Let me know in the chat if you also submitted some things. We'll take a look. I know Drew also, we're going to take a look at your stuff. So we have Lisa, Blackpink. Boom, we have the nice tilt. Ooh, that nice little animation out. She, very nice. Whoo, took another step. I absolutely love it. And we went all the way reverse to the home page. Very nice. Very nice looped animation. Just claps in the chat on that one. All right, let's pull this out. Time check, we got 2 minutes. We have time to look at one more, ladies and gentlemen. And let's see if we can get to it. This one was really awesome. They combined all three challenges, or really all three challenges that we've done so far. They got into the loading. I really like when you guys utilize all three of the challenges in one project. It's really cool, skill stacking, and you guys learn a lot. Very nice work. Very nice work. But yes, definitely join the Discord if you haven't already. Submit some of your stuff, and we'll take a look at it each and every day of the daily challenge. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like it's about that time. I hope you guys learned a lot, not only today, but this week. Again, if you just came here, feel free to watch this over again, download the XD file, and follow along. And also, do not forget to register for Adobe Max if you haven't already. And I just want to thank you guys, Sam, Ruth, Cornell, Marwangwa, and Steve. Hey, hope you like New Zealand. Take it easy, guys. Brandon Gross, out. See you next time.